Dr. Eamonn Butler, who is head of the Adam Smith Institute here in London.
Well, I only had to come here from Westminster, but I must say that was quite a journey as well, because of all of the police barriers and lines and vans and sirens and all the rest of it. But we're locked down now for this G20 demonstrations that we expect to come. But I think that the demonstrations this week are directed entirely at the wrong target. I think that they are directed, of course, at the market system and at capitalism and indeed at trade. And I think the exact opposite ought to be targeted. I think that trade is by far the best way to help the poorest people on the planet. And as Razine says, 400,000 people, 400 million people in China. I think you can add people in India and other developing countries who, in the last 10 years, have been lifted out of poverty by world trade and the market system. 1 billion people have been raised out of poverty in the last 10 years by world trade and world markets. I think we ought to be celebrating that and not trying to knock it. Secondly, I would say that if you want to save the planet as well, then trade and enterprise is the best way to do that. That what we need to save the planet is prosperity, so that we've got the wealth to save the planet. Prosperity and not protectionism. So this protectionist zeal which we see at the moment in response to the economic downturn is, I think, exactly the wrong thing for the environment as well. I would just say that trade is something which is perfectly natural. Trade is the voluntary exchange between different people. You've got something I want, I've got something you want. This is the basis for a deal. We don't need to be coerced and pushed into this. We do it naturally. And we do it because we both benefit. Both sides in this transaction benefit. And when you've got billions of people across the planet doing that, trading freely, openly, without coercion with one another, then the benefit spreads very rapidly across the planet. And it is government restrictions on trade which reduce that benefit and drive people into poverty. So I think that people learn to live together through trade. They learn that trade is better than war and aggression and isolation, and that is why free trade is so important today.